If you want to know how to clearly and effectively share your ideas in meetings, then keep watching, because in this video I'm going to share with you a 5-step framework to help you share your ideas in meetings. And I'm going to include an example that I will build on throughout this video, and at the end of the video you will find out what the full example looks like, the full structure looks like when you put it into action. But the first thing I want you to understand is you were invited to that meeting for a reason. I'm telling you this because a lot of the time when you're in a meeting and you're holding back from sharing your idea, you might be telling yourself that you have nothing to contribute. You don't know why you're in that meeting. People don't want to hear what your idea is. People don't care what you have to say. You might be telling yourself all of these things. All of this negative self-talk might be preventing you from sharing your great ideas in meetings. So I want you to know that you were invited to that meeting for a reason. Your boss believes in you. Your co-workers believe in you. They want to know what you think. It's your responsibility and it's your job to share your ideas with them in meetings. So I hope I've convinced you that speaking up in meetings, sharing your ideas and your opinions is really important, and it's something you absolutely can and should do. Now let's get into the 5-step framework so you know how to share your ideas in meetings. The very first thing you need to do is to plan for the meeting. Preparation is key to being confident in any meeting. It's also the key to being able to communicate with clarity during a meeting. If you don't plan for the meeting, your ideas will come out mumbled. They will not be clear. People might wonder what you're trying to say or what your idea even is. You're essentially wasting this free opportunity for you to become more visible and to become more recognized in your company. I want you to have much more impact than that in your career. I know you can have a lot more impact than that in your career. I don't want you to hold back from sharing your ideas because you don't think they are good enough. I want you to share them confidently and with clarity to your team. And the first step in doing this is to plan for the meeting. Plan out what your idea is and how you're going to share it to everyone. Now, in a moment, I'm going to give you some more concrete advice on how you can plan for a meeting. But first, I want to let you in on a little secret here. Every YouTube video on my channel that you see is planned out. I never wing it for my YouTube videos. Every video is planned out. I have carefully identified the topic I'm going to talk about. Then I create a bullet point list of what I want to say in the video. I don't script my videos word for word because there's no way that I will be able to remember word for word what I have to say, but I do create a plan for every video. This helps me to create videos that are clear and that are really helpful for you, or at least I hope they're helpful for you. I want you to use the same strategy for your meetings. Pretend they're just like YouTube videos. I want you to plan out your meetings, and what you need to plan here is identify who is going to be at the meeting, what is the objective or purpose of the meeting, and write down a list of your ideas that you want to share and talk about during the meeting. Get all of this clear in your mind or on a piece of paper, and you will be able to communicate your ideas, share your ideas a lot more confidently and with a lot more clarity in meetings. The second thing you need to do is to break into the conversation. So meetings can be really chaotic. Everyone's talking over each other all at the same time. Everybody wants the talking space. Everybody wants to share their ideas. So meetings can be a very chaotic situation. They can be very difficult to break into. Or you might have a conversation hog in the meeting who just wants all of the talking space to them. How do you interrupt this person? How do you break into the conversation so you can get talking space and you can share your idea? You might find it hard to break into a conversation to share your idea. You might find it really intimidating. You might also lack the confidence to do it. But if you want to increase your visibility, you need to break into the conversation so you can share your idea. Now, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you need to do is to detect when people are about to finish what they are saying. When you have this indication, This means it's a good time for you to start jumping into the conversation and sharing your idea. The next thing you can do is to use body language that indicates you have something to say. Raising your hand, looking people directly in the eye, physically leaning forward on the table, so you are indicating to the group that you have something to say and you want the talking space next. Then you need to break into the conversation by using one of these sentence examples. I want to say something about, I have something I want to add here. Following up from what John was saying about all of these 3 examples are really helpful for you to start breaking into chaotic group conversations during meetings. I do share more tips about how to break into group conversations in my Assertive Communication Skills Masterclass, which I will link to in the description below. The next step is the bridge, and this is where you share a story, facts, observation, or trends that can lead people to your idea. It's where you share the why that leads people to your idea. Sometimes going from breaking into the conversation to your idea is a bit too abrupt. It might not flow well. People might be a bit confused as to what your idea is or where it's coming from. They might think, why are you talking about that? So you need to lead them to your idea, and using a bridge is a really good way to do this. Now I'm going to share an example with you so you can understand how the bridge works, and I'm going to start by sharing how to break into the conversation, which was actually the last point we talked about. So you start by saying, I have something I want to add here. Then you continue with your bridge, and this is what it could sound like. I have something I want to add here. I came across an article recently that said 54% of senior executives share work-related videos with their colleagues at least weekly. So here I am sharing a fact, I'm sharing an article, some data that I came across in an article, and I'm using that as a bridge to lead people to my idea, which is what I'm going to share with them in the next step. Number 4, your idea. The important thing you need to remember here is that your idea needs to be communicated clearly. In meetings, it is really easy, especially if you're nervous about meetings, it's easy to mumble your words, to forget what your idea is, or to get everything mixed up so your idea doesn't come across clearly. But when you do that, you will lose impact, you will lose talking space, people will interrupt you, and you will lose your moment. So it's really important to avoid all of this, that you share your ideas clearly in meetings, and this is how I would do it. Use I think, I believe, or in my opinion. And following each of those examples, you state your idea in as few words and simple words as possible. These 3 strategies might seem very common, they might seem very simple, but I can assure you they are absolutely effective, and they will definitely help you get your idea across clearly in your meeting. So let's build on the example that we've been using so far in this video. I start with, I have something I want to add here. Then I continue the bridge by saying, in an article I came across recently, I found that 54% of senior executives share work-related videos with their colleagues at least weekly. Now it's time to share my idea, and this is what I say. Given this statistic, I think it would be really helpful and beneficial for our company to start creating videos for our target audience. I think it will help us to connect with them and to give them valuable content that will keep them engaged with our brand. Do you see how this sounds? It's clear, it's confident, and it's succinct. You can clearly understand from this what my idea is and why I think it's a good idea. A huge part of being able to clearly communicate your idea in a meeting happens in step 1, in the planning phase of this framework. That is why every stage in this framework is really important, and one stage always builds onto the next one. The final step here is the follow-up. This is where you invite other people in the room to comment on your idea. This is probably the most helpful and powerful part of sharing any idea, seeing what other people think about your idea. Can they add information to build onto your idea and make it stronger? Can they add helpful perspectives to bring a slightly different angle to your idea? Can they question or challenge your idea so that you can find the best solution? Don't be afraid of opening up the conversation for input on your idea. This isn't a reflection on your intelligence at all. It's actually a reflection on the amount of confidence that you have as a leader and as a professional. Remember, in a company, as a leader, you work in a team team. You work with a group of people. It's everyone together that creates strength for your team and strength for the company as well. So don't be afraid of asking for input. Now, how do you do this? How do you ask for input on your idea? You simply say, what are your thoughts on this? What does everyone think about this? Where does everyone stand on this? Now, I want to put all of these steps together that I've used in this video and show you what a fully fleshed out example will look like when you need to share your idea in a meeting. I have something I want to add here. An article I came across recently said that 54% of senior executives share work-related videos with their colleagues at least weekly. Now, given this statistic, I think it would be beneficial for our company to start creating and producing helpful videos for our audience. I think it will help us to connect better with them and give them valuable content to keep them engaged with our brand. What does everyone think about this idea? Now I would love to hear from you. What do you think about this 5-step framework? Do you think it will be helpful for you? Do you think you can or will use it the next time you want to share an idea in a meeting? Let me know in the comments below. To all my loyal subscribers, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and watching another video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to this channel and you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you hit the button below this video. Every week I share videos to help you advance in your leadership journey. Check out the other videos on the screen before you leave, and I will see you next week with another video.